I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary, Sophie. We must delve further into the motivations of the masked man, the Ascian known as La Habrea. This is an ideal moment to do so, while our hands are not bound dealing with another primal. At present, we know little and less about the Ascians, only that destruction follows in their wake. I should not be surprised if these beings are behind the chaos that racks the realm. If fears prove to be reality, we must do all in our power to stop them. Earlier, I sent word to each Grand Company to solicit cooperation. The Immortal Flames responded to the effect that they have information on a potential sighting. This is intelligence that we can ill afford to ignore. Go speak with Flame Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in Ul'dah to inquire further. How you go about the investigation thereafter, I leave wholly to your discretion. But whatever you do, never forget that we are dealing with the unknown. You cannot take too many precautions. Be safe, Sophie. Okay, so we're going to go up here and we're going to ask about a man in black. The masked man. Ah, you are come on behalf of the Scions, of course. Yes, as we've already relayed to Lady Minfilia, there has been a sighting of this rogue near about eastern Thanalan. A brass blade stationed at Highbridge described him in detail when he alerted us to suspicious activity. I would point you to the witness, but I'm afraid he died not 2 days ago, slain by a marauding horde of Quiquern. Fate can be a cruel mistress. But do not be too quick to despair. Being situated on a trade route, Highbridge sees its fair share of travelers. Folk are always coming and going, and some among them may very well have caught a glimpse of your target. You could do worse than speak with a merchant named Hihibaru. The fellow's always starved for customers, and he'd no doubt welcome your attention, whether or not you have the coin or mind to spend it. Alright, so now we're gonna go to... Alright, so you guys probably remember Highbridge from the part where, as a gladiator, I fought that big in battle on the Highbridge where they were gonna execute the guy. So that's where we are now. Welcome to Highbridge, adventurer. Whatever you seek, I, Hihibaru, can provide it. Probably. You're after a masked man. I'm not sure I have one of those in stock. Oh, you're after a masked man. Why didn't you say so sooner? Such an individual might have featured in one of the many rumors I've heard. If you linger a while, mayhap you'll learn a thing or two, eh? When the Order of Naldal began excavating the ruins below, I had hopes that Highbridge would turn into a bustling hub for pilgrims. But thanks to the nigh-endless beastman raids, folk are too afraid to come within a malm of here. I sold everything I owned to get my venture started, and I'm loath to give it up without making an earnest effort to stick it out. But if things keep going as they are, I'll be bankrupt before the moon is through. Moon is a month in this game, by the way. Whining won't do me any good, though. No, for my business to survive, I need business. Speaking of which, perhaps you'd like to browse my wares, spend a bit of coin to help a struggling merchant? The masked man? Ah, I'll take that bloody masked man. I know what I said before, but vague rumors are all I've got. If you want to know about him, go and ask the other merchants. I've heard tell of the Masked Devil. Seems he's been appearing not only around Highborn, but elsewhere around Thanalan too. Enough folk have reported seeing him to convince me he's more than a figment of my imagination, but little is known about him otherwise. On the trail of the masked man? Aye, I've heard of him, but only in hushed tones and faint whispers. It's said he wears a black hooded robe and looks right suspicious, and that's about all I can say, little though it is. Yeah, thanks for that. Have I seen a masked man wearing a dark robe? No, I haven't, nor do I wish to. Business is bad enough without shady characters lurking about. Folk have been giving Highbridge a wide berth because of all the Quiquiran raids. None but the most devout of pilgrims are willing to come here anymore. There's actually a really cool fate that happens here. It's like a 3-part fate where the Quiquiran will attack the Highbridge and you'll defend it, and then they'll send, if you beat that, and then they send like a big boss, and if you defeat the boss, then the troops here tell you to go attack their base, and so then you go and attack their base, and there's a big boss there, and if you beat their big boss, then you get to buy some special items. It's pretty cool. Judging by your expression, I take it you didn't learn much of use. Look, I'm sorry for my rudeness earlier. It's just that things are tough for us merchants at the moment. Quiquiran raids are so constant, so organized, we're beginning to suspect that someone is orchestrating it all. I tend to put my own self-welfare first, like most of us do, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I promise to keep an eye out for your masked man. If I see or hear anything, you'll be the first to know. This is a level 24 quest. And my guess is the next quest is 25. Yep, level 25. So this is an example I was talking about earlier where you have to, usually you would have to go do like a dungeon or something and then come back. I finally got some honest to goods information on your masked man. Why so confident? Because I saw him with my own 2 eyes. I was out for an evening stroll, minding my own business, when I noticed a column of smoke rising from a cliff over at Thal's Respite. Curious, I took myself there to find a masked man, your masked man, I'm sure of it, standing by a fire. As if in answer, some Quiquiran appeared soon after, and the group began talking at length. I'm afraid I was too far out of earshot to hear much of anything. After the group had dispersed, an idea came to me. If you were to use this smoldering coal to start a fire, you might be able to arrange a similar meeting. It will be dangerous, I shouldn't doubt, but you've proven yourself more than a match for a pack of rats. So, what do you think? That's some sound, reliable information, even if I do say so myself. Well worth all that lingering about you've been doing, wouldn't you say? The raid on Highbridge Fates, if you beat them all, you can come over here and this character will sell you this stuff, but they also will have a pet. I think it's a rat, and you can get the rat, but you have to beat all 3 of them and get an S grade, I believe, on all 3 of them in order to do that. So if you ever see that fate going on, you definitely want to participate and see if you can get an S grade on all 3 parts. Back in the day when fates were like a serious thing in this game and people would actually like grind fates, like for example right there where you were, the first quest was 24 and then the next quest was 25, it was very possible that if you were right here in this area and you were pretty close to leveling, you might just run around and do the couple of fates real quick. But fates aren't really a thing anymore. You'll very rarely see people doing them, except for at the really high-end content. Like obviously people at the top, you know, at top max level and stuff are doing it, but people don't usually need to do anything to level except for main story quests anymore, so they don't do fates any longer into low level stuff, unfortunately. There used to be, like, you could find in Party Finder, you could go into Party Finder, or not Ready Check, sorry, you could go into Party Finder here, and you would actually find like a bunch of people doing fates, and you could join their groups and stuff. It was pretty cool. I used to love doing fate grinding at, like, when I was like leveling other classes and stuff. And in fact, at level 45-ish, you would have no more quests from like, I think it was like 46 to 49. And then you'd have 1 or 2 quests at 49, and then nothing until 50. And so back in the day, people would literally go to a zone in Danland, and you would have like 5 or 6 groups that were like completely full, and you would go into Party Finder and try to join one of them, and then you would spend the whole day doing fate grind in that zone because it was like the fastest and easiest way to do it. Dungeons didn't used to give as much experience as they do now, but they do a lot more experience than they used to, and then main story quest is like so high that you don't really need to do that stuff anymore. But fate grinds used to be a really, really popular and fun way to do it. And it wasn't just from like 45 on, like over in Elport, which we've been to a couple times, that was another really popular place. Like you would see people doing, I was like, what was that noise? You would hear people, or see people doing in Elport, you'd see people doing fates from like level 15 to 22 or so. That was like another popular one. And there are a couple others. Back so soon? Were you able to find any clues leading to your masked man? This scroll, it bears a prayer to Ralgar the Destroyer. In case you're unfamiliar, Ralgar is the guardian deity of Alamigo, which is currently under Garlean rule. It's highly uncommon for folk of other nations to revere him. I'd wager my last guild that your assailant was Alamigan. It seems this masked man of yours is very well connected. I must confess, the merchant in me envies such a diverse network of contacts. That self-same merchant also senses danger ahead, and darkness besides. Are you certain you'd rather not take things nice and slow here at Highbridge? The Alamigan bandit you had a run-in with is somehow connected to your masked man of mystery. So, it stands to reason that if you want to pick up the trail again, you should head towards Little Alamigo over in southern Thanland. Just so you know what to expect, the settlement is the favored destination for those refugees who couldn't, well, adapt to life in Ul'dah. The hearts of the denizens are said to be as barren as the wasteland they live in, and for all intents and purposes, it's a lawless place. Be prepared for a not-so-warm welcome. Now, I'm not certain how much a help she will be, but it just so happens I have a daughter who has relocated to Little Alamigo. Her name is Hihira, and it shouldn't hurt to seek her out first. And while you have her attention, I'd be obliged if you could send my love. Not a day goes by that I don't think of her. I suppose this is it then. I had hoped that you would linger here a while, cull some fiends, spend some coin, what have you, but something tells me you're destined for greater things. Wherever it is you end up, I wish you the best. Okay, and then because we already did a quest over in Alamigo for the warrior thing, I can go straight there. Otherwise, I would have had to ride a chocobo for a while. Alright, so this is Little Alamigo. There's, two like little caves here. They're right next to each other. And this is basically where the refugees from Alamigo are right now. Why, yes. Hihibaru is my father. He said, what? I wish I could be a better daughter to him. It's just that... Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't bother you with family matters. But I am grateful to you for delivering the message. Now then, what brings you here? A masked man. I'm afraid the description doesn't ring any bells, but one of the others here may have seen something. I would recommend you first speak with Gundabald, the leader of the settlement. I must warn you, though, he isn't exactly accommodating to outsiders. Who are you? State your business and be quick about it. Looking for a masked villain, you say? And why should we help you, pray? We struggle enough without having to answer the whim of every outsider. You are not welcome here. Be gone. Dang. So that went over well. Well met, adventurer. I'm Gizelbert, head of the security here at Little Alamigo. I heard tell that you had business with Gundabald. Knowing the grizzly old bear, I don't doubt that he told you to bugger off. Owing to their hardships, the refugees don't trust anyone but themselves. Not even my men and I can get so much as a word of thanks out of them despite watching the place day and night. But thanks or no, I try to help my fellow man where I can, and you seem a decent sort. If you tell me what's brought you here, might be as I can lend a hand. On the trail of a masked villain, you say? Can't say that sounds familiar, but I have men on lookout for Amalja to the south of here. If there's been any suspicious activity, they are like to have seen it. I had in mind to take them each a cup of sweet Thanalan tea so as to lift their spirits. If you're willing to run this little errand in my stead, they'd be all the more willing to help you with what they know. Sure, man. I'll go deliver some tea. It is 12 o'clock in the morning. It's midnight, and there are still people outside buzzing around on their stupid motorcycle bikes. This apartment complex, I swear. People are just super inconsiderate around here. I guess that's like everywhere though, right? There's no place where people aren't that way. Who the hells are you? I'm trying to conserve energy here, so leave me alone. You're a nice officer. Well, ain't you considerate? My thanks, friend. What's that? A masked villain hiding among the refugees like as not. Me compatriots has live here go about as though they're dead on their feet. 'Tis near impossible to tell what's on their minds. For all I know, they're all up to no good. Okay. Shoot, don't bother me. If the Amalja overrun us, I'm blaming you. For me? You shouldn't have. Sorry, a suspicious masked man? As a matter of fact, I caught a glimpse of someone fitting that description during patrol. Well, I couldn't quite make out whether it was a man or not, what with the mask and the robe, but assuming it was a he was talking with some Alamegans. I assume he was one of them. Okay, that's actually helpful, useful information right there. You there, are you an Amalja? No? Then carry on. Dude, do I look like an Amalja? Do I look like a giant lizard? You're a terrible lookout if you can't tell until I get up this close. And you ask me. Holy cow. Ah, the sophisticated aroma? It has been forever since I had a drop of sweet Thanalan. I'm going to enjoy this. What? A masked man? Don't know, don't care. Unless he's got dark scaly skin, stands 10 palms tall, and has the face of a lizard, then I don't give a murmur's fart. Okay. You're a really bad lookout, by the way. If you even know what they look like that you can describe them that well, and you still couldn't tell I wasn't one until I got up in your face, you're a terrible lookout. Ah, you're back. So, did my lookouts have aught to share with you? That doesn't sound like much to go by. If you're to get any further in your investigation, it seems to me you'll need the cooperation of the Alamegans. For this, you'll need to win their trust, and that won't be an easy task. No, it won't. So, you're determined to press on with your investigation? Then I have some advice to offer. As I said before, you won't get far without the Alamegans' trust, and the best way to win that trust is to get a compatriot of theirs, someone they respect, to vouch for you. Coin does the talking in Ul'dah, but the Alamegans are bound by something far stronger, if not as tangible, a common purpose. That purpose is, of course, the liberation of their home from the Garleans. That's going to be an important point, by the way. The fight for Alamigo, like, they're not kidding when they say, like, they're pretty intent about getting Alamigo back. Gundobald belongs to the Alamegan resistance. So you're let me start to read. Gundobald belongs to the Alamegan resistance. So your best bet would be someone who's part of the same crew. If you know any well-connected people, you might want to start by asking them. I don't know any of those people, but the quest says that Minfilia wants to talk to me. Convenient, so I guess we'll go ask Minfilia if she knows any of those people. They could have had Minfilia call me or something. Welcome back, Sophie. How fares the investigation? I see. Given all that they have suffered, it is of little wonder that the Alamegan refugees have lost faith in their fellow man. They have had their homeland taken from them, and for the past 2 decades have had to see it remain in the enemy's clutches. To compound matters, none of the 3 city-states have the means to take in all those who were displaced. As a result, a great many Alamegans now live on the margins of society, suffering poverty and discrimination. Would that more could be done to ease their hardships. I fear that nothing short of reclaiming their homeland would be a lasting solution. But let us deal with one problem at a time. Returning to the matter of your investigation, it just so happens there is an Alamegan native among the Scions. I should be pleased to introduce him to you. Yay! Your Alamegan comrade is named Heribert. He joined our cause in the hopes that he might find a way to liberate his homeland. While he spares no effort towards that endeavor, I have no doubt that he would be glad to assist you. If I recall correctly, Heribert is currently between missions. Try looking for him in the storage area. If it isn't Sophie Hiscaris, the Scion's rising star, is there aught I can do for you? You wish to win the trust of the people of Little Alamigo. That is a daunting task, my friend, even for our own countrymen. I would like nothing more than to help, but I'm afraid my name no longer carries weight with that lot. I used to be a member of the Alamegan resistance, you see, but I left in favor of joining the Scions. Though my allegiance may have shifted, my purpose remains ever the same, the liberation of Alamigo. Yet, whatever my reasons were, I abandoned my comrades, and they'll have nothing to do with me. Now, while I may have no more friends in the Resistance, I know someone who does. Her name is Albreda, and she is a resident of Quarry Mill. Say my name when you meet her, and she won't lead you astray. Alright, so we go to Quarry Mill.